Today, we go over the legendary tactics of Alex Ferguson. This tactic actually won 5 trophies in one season and scored over 4.5 goals. We're going to test with 3 teams of the Manchester United era, so the perfect video for any Manchester United fans or just people that enjoy incredible tactics. If you are enjoying the tactics so far this year, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, but let's waste no more time. Let's get into the first results. So the first test is going to be from the 2013 to 2014 era, where we had the likes of Robin van Persie, Wayne Rooney, a certain David De Gea in his younger days, and we enjoyed a fantastic season. Oh boy, we did. We actually won 5 trophies. The Champions League against Napoli, the Barclays Premier League, a beautiful saying, the English FA Cup against Liverpool, the Capital One Cup, beautiful, against Everton, and the English Community Shield against Wigan. Please bring back this team. Please, can we start winning trophies again? 132 goals scored and only 25 goals conceded. Big RVP stepping in with 49 goals and picking up a 7.76 highest average rating. Big Wazza picking up 35 assists, and Wayne Rooney and David De Gea with a pass completion of 93%. Out of a potential 38 wins, we picked up 31 wins, drew 4, and our 3 losses come against Swansea. Interesting. Liverpool and Tottenham. Overall, a very good season though. Going over to the team stats, we are going to feature in 6 of them. The most points per game at 2.55, the most goals at 132, the most shots for at 795, the fewest shots against at 278, the fewest conceded at 25, quite a few less than Tottenham Hotspur, and also the most clean sheets, 1 more than Tottenham Hotspur as well. Going over to the data hub, we are going to look at 3.47 goals per game, conceded at only 0.66, over 20 shots, nearly 21 shots every single game, a tackle-in ratio of 76.39, and a pass completion of 85.12. We enjoyed one hell of a season, and a bit of nostalgia for the Manchester United fans. Let's go and have a little look at these players then. So it is going to be Big RVP with 49 goals, Wayne Rooney with 41, Javier Hernandez with 23, what a throwback, 19 for Nani, Fellaini with 17, 14 for Valencia, 14 for Vidic, Kagawa with 13, Bebe out on loan with 9, Welbeck with 9 as well, cleverly. Honestly, let me know in the comments right now, do you want to see more retro tactics? Because I have so much fun looking over these teams. 35 assists for Wayne Rooney, 23 for RVP, 20 for Nani, Shinji Kagawa with 18, 16 for Big Fellaini, Valencia with 15, 13 for Raphael, cleverly with 10, Ashley Young with 8, he can put a ball in, that is for sure. 8 for Carrick and 8 for Smalling. What a throwback of these players. Honestly, if you're a United fan, you must be in heaven right now, even looking at these names again. Let's get in to a slightly more older test. Up next on the year that I was born, 1998 to 1999 database. Obviously one that was in the game last year, and another great job done this year as well. As we do in the quadruple, being the Premier Division, the FA Cup, the Coca-Cola Cup against Leeds, and the FA Charity Shield against Arsenal. We scored 173 goals in the Premier Division and conceded only 27 goals. Dwight York picks up 77 goals in the league, also getting the highest average rating, which is quite common sense. Ryan Giggs with 57 assists. He is busted in this database, he really is. We also do go invincible, winning 35 out of a potential 38 games, and 3 draws against Arsenal, Middlesbrough, and a goalless draw against Aston Villa. Team stat wise, we are going to feature in 5 of them, being the most points per game at 2.84, the most goals at 173, over 940 shots, and also the fewest conceded coming in at 27. We are absolutely lethal. We really, really are. And going over to that data hub, it's going to blow minds. Brains are going to explode. 4.55 goals per game, 0.71 conceded, which is nearly nuts. We nearly scored 4 more goals to what we are going to be conceding every single game. 0.3 of 25 shots a match, a 74.59% tackle win ratio, and a pass completion of 85.94. This is one of the best attacking displays I have ever seen. And now we're going to the current day, the dark times, the current Manchester United team, where to be fair, we've still done okay. I'll take this any day of the week at the moment. A Premier Division, which we're going to take happily, and the FA Cup against Manchester City. Unfortunately, the Champions League, done a lot better than real life, but you're knocked out in the quarterfinals against Atletico Madrid, and the Carabao Cup, I'm not even going to talk about. We scored 108 goals, being the best goal scorers in the Premier League. You can tell this is a video game. And only 23 goals conceded. Marcus Rashford picking up 38 goals and a 7.7 or 7.66 highest average rating. Anthony, unlike real life, contributes to the team with 23 assists. Well, it is going to be Martinez picking up a 93% pass completion. Nice to see Big Rasmus picking up the most player of the matches as well. We do love to see that. It's not going to be an invincible season. We win 30 games out of a potential 38. We draw 3 against Wolves and 2 goalless draws against Villa and Newcastle. And we actually lose against Burnley, Chelsea, Brighton, Liverpool and City, probably to be expected. Going over to the team stats, though, we are going to feature in 3 of them. The most points per game at 2.45, the most goals at 108, and the most shots for over 715. Possession-wise, we're not going to be there because we are playing that traditional 4-4-2, as to be expected. Data hub-wise, quite okay, to be fair. Approaching 3 goals a game, which I'm going to take with this team. 2.84 goals per game, a conceded at 0.61, getting on for 19 shots, but to be exact, 18.92, a 76% tackle win ratio, and an 85% pass completion. So, yeah. Not as good, probably the weakest test out of every single database we've tested on, because it's probably the weakest team out of the 3 I've shown you. We absolutely cooked with a 98 database. We done 5 trophies with the 2013 database, and an okay season with this current database as well. But let me know in the comments, do you play on any of the old databases as well? And let me know any retro tactics you want to see, because I am really having a whale of a time playing on these databases. But let's get in and watch some highlights from a mixture of the databases. So first up, the Champions League final with that 2013 team. Chris Smalling with a throw-in. Great to hear that. What a throwback. Over the top, into Nani, backstick, into Shishikagawa. A great first initial save, but RVP, as alert as ever, gets the goal there. Nani goes through now to make it 2-0. He's going to drive at the back line, dribble past everyone. They do find a way back into the game, but it's way too late to do anything. A great penalty, to be fair, but it's an easy Champions League final. We love to see that. And to get to that Champions League final, we dismantled Atletico Madrid 8-2. But this is the second game, a 6-1 win away from home. What a performance. Shinji Kagawa out wide again, absolutely dominating the field, in the middle, into RVP, into Nani. A great goal there to go 1-0 up inside of 15 minutes. A bit of set-piece action here. Rooney backstick into a certain Fellaini. Oh boy, what a player he was. Chris Smalling picking it up, driving at the back line, into Fellaini, through into Nani. And when this guy was cooking, you could not stop him. Simple as that. They do get a goal here, to be fair to them. Great link-up play, great ball through, and De Gea does get a little bit misfooted there from the sort of sweaty pass, the sweaty cross, whatever you want to say. We bounce back again here, though, in the 64th minute. Backstick into Fellaini to get another nice cushion when it comes to the goals. We high press here with Shinji Kagawa out on the left-hand side. We're going to cut the ball back into RVP, and this team, man, was something different. It really was. Nani back into Rooney, driving at the back line. A certain man is in the middle. Is he going to find him? He is! And it's a volley. It's RVPS. Capital One Cup final was a bit of a breeze, to be honest, but I will show you a 6-1 win against Everton. A very easy final past Howard in goal. Nani doing Nani things. A great start there. To be fair to Everton, though, they did try and get back into the game, and they did so. Seamus Coleman down the right-hand side, who had that moment in his locker every so often with Seamus Coleman, but we do go and score another 5 goals, as you can see here. A certain Vidic, the best centre-back to ever grace the Premier League, in my opinion. Vidic again into Fellaini, driving at the back line, through into Nani, one-on-one, and a sensational finish into the bottom left-hand corner. We go again here with Raphael from the set piece, into Fellaini, into Nani, through into Wayne Rooney on the turn, and into the top right-hand corner. We love to see that as he puts a great ball in the box there, and when you got Wazza delivering, Vidic on the end of it, you're not going to stop him. RVP that time. Vidic the star man. Of course, over to your favourite part of the video, the tactical breakdown. If you are enjoying so far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to all of the wonderful names coming down the screen right now. These are going to be the Patreon members that either are new or existent. You get over 10 perks for joining the Patreon, including access to all 3 of these tactics today in one simple download. You get early video, early tactic release, you get priority in the tactic and the rebuild requests, you get one-on-one tactical help, and so much more, including giveaways, sometimes 2 monthly. So you want to check it out. The link is going to be in the description below. But let's go over and break down the player roles then. So I've kept the players on the screen as well for the nostalgia effect. The goalkeeper is going to be De Gea, who is simply going to be a goalkeeper on the defensive instruction. Nice and simple, very low risk player. A fullback on the right is going to be on support, on run wide with the ball, get further forward, stay wider and close down more. Raphael loved a little cheeky attack in his locker. A central defender on the right hand side is going to be big man the Manjovic, and next to him is going to be Johnny Evans, who somehow still is in the Manchester United team. Yeah, quite worrying to see. The fullback on the left is going to be Big Patrice, lovely player, run wide with the ball, get further forwards, stay wider and close down more. So both fullbacks having a very influential part in this team of creating chances and even bagging the occasional goal. The right winger is going to be obviously Antonio Valencia, who can also play right back, of course, shoot more often and roam from position. In the midfield on the right hand side is going to be your Fellaini. He is going to be on support, on shoot more often, get further forwards, move into channels and also close down more. And next to him is going to be a legend of the game, Michael Carrick, the deep lying playmaker, on defend, on close down more, tackle harder and also mark tighter. On the left hand side is going to be Big Louis Nani, on shoot more often and roam from position. So a very aggressive set of wingers and fullbacks in the system, which made this 4-4-2 really good, to be honest with you. And up top is going to be the pressing forward, which is going to be Wayne Rooney, simply on the default, and the star man, the finisher, the destroyer, Robin van Persie, on the default advanced forward. And this completes a legendary, iconic 4-4-2. Let's go to the team instructions. So all done off a custom clean slate attacking mentality, where you're going to opt with the fairly wide attacking width. We're going to pass the ball into the space. We're going to overlap left and overlap right, not just for the fullbacks, but obviously also for the wingers to make really lethal overlapping runs. We're going to play it from the back as well, and we are going to go with the standard passing directness with the slightly higher tempo, play for set pieces. You saw how many goals we were getting from set pieces, so very crucial you have them on and have good ones installed, because it's a really good way. This game this year, set pieces seem to be a real good way of getting a few extra goals, and some of them, to put it bluntly, are broken. The final third are going to go onto low crosses, and to complete it, of course, that counter-attacking instinct, we are simply going to run at defence. In transition, we've got a few things to talk about. We're going to counter, but we are also going to go with counter press, because we're going to work hard to get the ball back. We're going to really get stuck in, put some challenges in, and that gets the job done. We're going to play to anyone across the back line while taking short goal kicks. And lastly, of course, we are going to whack this all the way up to the high pressing line of engagement. We're going to opt with the higher defensive line more often when it comes to the trigger press. We're going to prevent short goalkeeper distribution. We're going to get stuck in, and of course, we are going to step up more. And you have to sort of play this way with a 4-4-2, because it makes it actually aggressive and really hard to play against. Sometimes with a 4-4-2, it can be way too stagnant. You're not really doing too much. So really pushing the attacking limits gets this 4-4-2 cooking. And to be fair, in the current Manchester United team, we actually saw quite an exciting final. A 4-3 win over Manchester City in, obviously, the FA Cup final, and it was a very good game from the get-go. They went 1-0 up, we equalised fairly instantly after, 3 minutes after to be exact, with Marcus Rashford, who obviously had a very good season. But the fact we actually got a 7-goal final, when was the last time that happened in a cup like this? We actually take the lead there with a very direct approach from Bruno into Martial, who somehow touches it down and gets the goal there. And we go again. Anthony on the right-hand side, driving at the back line, ball into Martial, into Jadon Sancho, into the bottom right-hand corner. And at this point, I thought the game was done, but you can never turn off against Manchester City, which we obviously did, as they do tie things up, to put it bluntly. Nunes goes through into Grealish, past Onana. It's great play, you can't really fault it. And they go again. Right before the full-time whistle, 87 minutes in, Calvin Phillips, ball through into Rafinha, who, I mean, it's just really good play. But this is where I made a bold claim, because I was not satisfied with bottling the game, obviously, so I switched to the attacking variant, and this happened. Right towards the end of the extra time, Reguilon down the left-hand side, a ball in, into Casemiro, and we're champions. But of course, now over to the attacking variant. Again, Patrons can download this in one simple download, and a defensive one, but I do include it in the video, so be sure to stick around and copy it and apply it to your saves, because that way you can click between all three of these in a very simple fashion, and it transforms the way your team plays. So the goalkeeper is going to be simply on the default, the fullback on the right is going to be on run wide, get further forward, stay wider and close down more, exactly the same as the left back as it goes. The ball playing defender comes in on the left hand side, and the central defender remains unchanged for the right-hand side. The winger on the right is going to be on shoot more often and roam from position, and on the left-hand side, it's going to be exactly the same. So both wingers are going to look to take shots at the goal. Obviously, we are trying to push for goals now, so a much-needed instruction. We're going to double up on the box-to-boxes, so we're going to have two players in the midfield that are both going to attack, but also both going to defend. So it does make this attack and variant sort of balanced in that sense of we are going to have a lot more players attacking, or two more players attacking, but obviously they are going to come back as well. So it's not all one-way traffic. They are going to come back and help as well. And that box-to-box on the right is going to be on support, on shoot more often, get further forwards, move into channels and close down more. And on the left-hand side, a bit simpler, is going to be on get further forwards and move into channels. Now, obviously, what you do is the player who has the better finishing, you would have shoot more often on. The two up top is going to be the double AFs, two advanced forwards. On the right-hand side, on the default, and the left-hand side is going to be on shoot more often. Again, because obviously on this side, we've got the box-to-box who shoot more often, so we're going to sort of go in a diagonal approach and not have the man in front of him also shooting more often, but the man in front of him to the left on shoot more often. We're going to have a lot of shots at the goal play in this way, and when you're trying to score goals, that usually helps. Team instruction wise, the mentality is going to still be on attacking. We're going to go fairly wide. We're going to pass into space. We're going to overlap left. We're going to overlap right while playing out from the back. In fact, the only real change that is going to come in is the fact of obviously we're still going to be getting the early crosses in, getting the ball in with low crosses. We're going to play for set pieces. We're going to run at defence, and we're going to be more expressive. So still a counter-attacking system, still the way Ferguson played, but we're going to be more expressive now and let the players actually just not do what they want, because that sounds really, really bad, but let them have a mind of their own, attack at the opposition and take risks. Sometimes you got to gamble in football to get results. In transition, it's going to be very simple, very meta-based. Counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and taking short goal kicks to anybody across the back line. And lastly, out of possession, the high defensive line, the high press line of engagement, much more often on the trigger press, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, and also step up more. And now we're going to flip the script and go over a defensive variant, which I will say very publicly, I would not recommend going into a game like this, only to be used if you're defending a game in the last 20, 10 minutes, something like that. It's probably a little bit too negative to take into a game from sort of the get-go, and you are going to score goals, but not nowhere near as many as a default, or definitely the attacker one will provide you. So the goalkeeper is going to remain on the default. The fullback is simply going to be on the default, no custom instructions, on the right, and the same goes for the left-hand side. Ball-playing defender is going to be on the default alongside of a centralised defender, again on the default, so a very low-risk back four, and that is because they essentially now are simply just going to be defending. I don't want them going forward, I don't want them attacking. They're there to defend, do your job. That's all I want them to do. On the right-hand side is going to be the winger, who is simply going to be on support. And again, exactly the same for the left-hand side. So you probably noticed it. If you haven't, I'm very surprised. But it's going to be a very low risk, low reward, if you want to say. It's not going to be too attacking, but it is going to be very defensively solid. So you definitely get the reward in terms of defensive prowess. But attacking-wise, you're not going to score as many goals. But then if you're trying to defend a game out, you can't get the best of both worlds. A ball-winning midfield player is going to be on support, on simply Mark Tighter. And the box-to-box is going to remain in there on close down more, because then we've at least got one midfield player that is going to really get looked to go further forwards and get involved and contribute to these two up top, which is now going to be a pressing forward on support on the default, matched with the advanced forward simply on attack. Team instruction wise, the mentality is going to drop down to a positive mentality. Anything lower than that would be a little bit overkill in my opinion, to the point where we're going to offer nothing going forward and it'll be way too stagnant. We're still going to go fairly wide, we're still going to pass into space, we're still going to overlap left and right so we have something going forward on the wide areas. We're going to play out from the back with a slightly shorter passing directness, a slightly higher tempo, time wasting set to sometimes. We're going to play for the set pieces, and of course we still need to counter attack, so we're going to run at defense with the dribbling style. In transition, we're going to go with counter press. This is something which never changes. We're still going to be very aggressive when we've lost the ball. We want to win the ball back. We still need to have that on, because that is literally, I mean, if you remember, if you look back to the Alex Ferguson days, the team were always putting in challenges. They were dying for 3 points, something we have not seen with this United team do in several years now, probably since he has left. Counter, when the ball has been won, we're going to slow the pace down and we're going to play it to anyone across the back line, taking short goal kicks. And lastly, out of possession is going to be the standard defensive line, the high press line of engagement, slightly more often on the trigger press, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. And that's going to give you guys 3 variants of Ferguson's Legendary 4-4-2. Obviously, default variant, an attacking variant, and a defensive variant. Again, patrons can get all three of these in one simple download. Save yourself a bunch of time by doing so. Link in the description, but you can simply go through and copy every single one, which I would recommend you do, because trust me, when you're in a game and you're trying to go from scenario to scenario, changing it every single time is a very long process, whereas you can simply click between each one of these and change your entire setup in one click. So definitely worth doing. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and keep commenting below on any future videos you want to see. If you are enjoying these tactics as well, but you play on console, you play on mobile, I've got a channel for that as well. You can check that out in the description as well. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.